The hand suffers at work, but the mouth must eat. He that makes himself an ass must not take it ill if men ride him. If the snake has no poison, or the man has no ego, no one fears them. Even a fish would not get into trouble if it would keep its mouth shut. Nothing, except God, is eternal. Further, if the world always was, the consequence is that an infinite number of days preceded this present day. But it is impossible to travel what is infinite. Therefore, we should never have arrived at this present day, which is manifestly false. It would seem that there is not only one world, but also many. Because, as Augustine says, it is unfitting to say that God has created things without reason. For man should not seek to know what is above reason. Choice is an act, not of the will, but of the reason. Meditation strengthens memory. It is simplicity that makes the uneducated more effective than the educated when addressing popular audiences. Those who assert that the mathematical sciences say nothing of the beautiful or the good are in error. The chief forms of beauty are order and symmetry and definiteness, which the mathematical sciences demonstrate in a special degree. He who is unable to live in society, or who has no need because he is sufficient for himself, must be either a beast or a god. A man will become a grammarian only when he has both done something grammatical and done it grammatically. The millenniums are not without sense, but they do the things that senseless people do. Most men identify friends with useful people. For we are busy that we may have leisure, and make war that we might live in peace. It is hard, if not impossible, to remove by argument the traits that have long since been incorporated in the character. Spoken words are symbols of mental experience, and written words are the symbols of spoken words. Private property makes man happier and enables him to cultivate such virtues as generosity. In democracies, revolutions may arise from persecution of the rich. Liberty is the first principle of democracy. The good ruler is the same as good man. Hence is evident that the state is a creation of nature, and that man is by nature a political animal. The real difference between democracy and oligarchy is poverty and wealth. Wherever men rule by reason of their wealth, whether they are few or many, that is an oligarchy, and where the poor rule, that is a democracy. Many are more incorruptible than the few. Democracy is the form of government in which the free are rulers. Equality is of two kinds, numerical and proportional. Where absolute freedom is allowed, there's nothing to restrain the evil which is inherent in every man. Neglect of education does harm to the Constitution. The example is an induction. Wealth as a whole consists in using things rather than in owning them. Sometimes is more desirable to seem just than to be just. Wondering implies the desire of learning. Honor is the token of a man's being famous for doing good. If a man has often success, he can take the credit, not luck. Only rich men are able to command endless pleasures. There are crimes for which is no punishment severe enough to be adequate. Not to use the laws is as bad as not to have laws at all. The cause of pleasure enjoyed by the insolent man is that he thinks himself greatly superior to others when ill-treating them. Life on the whole is a bad business. Responsibility makes one serious. That if anything is possible to inferior, weaker, and stupider people, It is more so for their opposites. Presently there came a stag and began to spoil his pasturage. No particular probability is universally probable, for what is improbable does happen, and therefore it is probable that improbable things will happen. It is an accident that man is pale, but it is not accidental that he is an animal. Some thinkers are saying nothing while they appear to say something remarkable. False interpretation of Quran is the root of the rise of heretical sects in Islam. Interpretation is needed when it seems to be a conflict of scripture statements and the principles of natural reason. Justice is entirely dependent of religion. If it is divisible at infinitum, then there should be infinite parts in the finite thing. Void is nothing else but dimensions. When dimensions are removed, void becomes nothing. All mankind are in agreement, except for those whose views are not worthy of consideration. Sometimes it's very difficult to untangle the truth. The present time has no causal dependence on the time immediately preceding it. We can conceive nothing that is extended as being so small as not to be capable of being divided, in thought at least. Our errors are defects of our mode of auction, but not of our nature, and that the faults of subordinates may often be attributed to other masters, but never to God. The reading of all good books is like a conversation with the finest men of past centuries. Common sense is the best distributed commodity in the world, for every man is convinced that he is well supplied with it. If you would be a real seeker after truth, you must at least once in your life doubt, as far as possible, all things. In the last analyses, all suffering is nothing else than sensation. The benefits of order are incontestable. It enables men to use space and time to the best advantage. The first requisite of a civilization is that of justice, that is, the assurance that a law once made will not be broken in favor of an individual. The liberty of the individual is no gift of civilization. It was greatest before there was any civilization. Mine is a most peaceable disposition. One must, it is true, forgive one's enemies, but not before they have been hanged. Man speaks by being silent. With a worn-out language, everybody can talk about everything. Modern man's future is threatened by the world he created. Man is a reasonable being. Nothing is freer than the imagination. Human body complexity is beyond our comprehension. Liberty is a power of acting or not acting according to the determination of our will. When your opinion leads to absurdities, it is certainly false. Actions are, by their very nature, temporary and perishing. The actions themselves can be blamable, but the person is not answerable to them. Beauty in things exists in the mind, which contemplates them. Everyone has observed how much more dogs are animated when they hunt in a pack than when they pursue their game apart. We might perhaps be at a loss to explain this phenomenon if we had not experience of a similar in ourselves. Does a man of sense run after every silly tale of hobgoblins or fairies and canvass particularly the evidence? I never knew anyone that examined and deliberated about nonsense who did not believe it before the end of his inquiries. For the purposes of life, conduct, and society, a little good sense is surely better than all this genius, and a little good humor than this extreme sensibility. Liberty is essential to morality. Morality implies free choice.